We're also joined today by County Supervisor John Joya. It's great to see our former great member of Congress for 40 years here. George, thank you for being here. I'm John Joya. I proudly represent Richmond on the Board of Supervisors, also chair of our board this year. I want you to know first that I brought a very similar resolution to our board today, and we unanimously passed it. And we passed it because, as you know, this proposal is unsafe, it's unhealthy, and it's unfair. It's unhealthy because, as a member of the local air district, we all know that particulate matter from diesel emissions from rail is very harmful, especially for those within 1,000 feet of the source of those emissions. Whether this rail is on the coast, on the bay shoreline, or in the middle, it's harmful from a health standpoint. In fact, you know, Bnsf's proposal to try to relocate it off the bay is just as harmful because it brings that source of diesel emissions even closer to the families and children who use that park, especially on weekends. It's unsafe because of the switching operations, the back and forth movement, and the hazard that causes to people, again, nearby the rail. And of course, it's unfair because of all of the efforts over decades to preserve this shoreline, both people in the city who fought for that, for the park district, for the city, to convert that area from what it once was, which was industrial. Those of us who grew up in Richmond remember when that was industrial, and remember the hard fight by community to keep that as open space. And I think, as Bob Doyle said at our board meeting today, it was the taxpayers of the East Bay and Richmond who paid to buy that land. We deserve having that remain an open space, and the Air Resources Board, in which I serve, actually did a study a number of years ago about rail emissions from Bnsf. So unhealthy, unsafe, and unfair. Thank you for considering this. I know how strongly you all feel about this, and thanks for the Park District for being a strong advocate for all of us and for those of us who fight to keep open space and keep our communities' health and safety. Thank you, Supervisor Joya.